Just shut the fuck up when grown folks is talking.
What up, world? It's your boy, Coolie Man.
You got AK the Chief in the building.
And y'all know what it is. It's time to plug them headphones in, put the kids to bed, and let's begin to listen. It's grown-ups talk. Today we're gonna talk about justice for Stephanie, justice for Paul. We gotta talk about what's going on in New Haven. Let's go.
What up, world? What's going on with y'all?
AK was cracking, AK.
What's good, Goolie? What's good, Goolie?
I can't call it king, I can't call it.
Word.
Shit, know what I mean? Y'all know what part of the show this is. We ain't gonna stunt, we ain't gonna hold it up on y'all. We're gonna dedicate this part of the show to you, to our fans, our supporters, our listeners, to everybody that's fucking with us every Monday as we drop these audios, everybody fucking with us every Wednesday as we drop the visuals. It takes a special type of you to appreciate a special type of us, and we appreciate that.
Facts. And you already know the motto.
Huh?
Like, share, and follow.
Huh?
If you didn't do it. Do it. Do that shit again.
Tell us. We gonna fumble it, yo. I need y'all to stop acting all fucking stink.
Yeah.
If you're on Instagram, Spotify, iHeartRadio, anywhere where you could put Grown Ups Talk Podcast in the search engine and our shit pop up, I need y'all to hit that motherfucking link.
Facts.
Hey yo, shout out to Lane's Barbershop, you feel me? It's a couple of things you gotta do to get your night right, you feel me? Right before you listen to us, right before you get right for the night, I mean the weekend, whenever you listening to us, hopefully it's on Mondays, but whatever, know what I mean? I need y'all to go hit the Instagram page up, know what I mean? Catch a vibe too, go over there, put your order in, catch that vibe, you feel me? Then I need you to head over to Congress Ave and see Bart at Lane's Barbershop. Get your line right. Know what I mean, ladies, he can get the back of your joints right real quick. Know what I mean, go get right and crispy, and then go straight over to 631 Middletown Ave, Middletown Cafe. Know what I mean, go get tipsy, go get grown, go get sexy. Know what I mean, grab you a little something to take home. Know what I mean, feel safe, feel free to have a good time, and don't worry about no BS. Again, man, go catch a vibe. Know what I mean, on Instagram, go hit up Lane's Barbershop. Shout out to Bart, and shout out to Ski Ball. Shout out to June, and shout out to Nico over at 631 Middletown Ave, Middletown Cafe. All black-owned businesses, all love, right here in New Haven, Connecticut. You feel me?
Okay. You already know.
Yeah, you know, I'm trying to get creative with them things. You feel me? All right. But yeah, man. I know it's we're a little turned in the beginning, but we gotta talk about this. I mean, being natives of New Haven, you feel me? I know it's been all over the news. It's been on Good Morning America. It's been all over the social media. It's been everywhere. I mean, so a couple of nights ago, almost a week ago now, there was a young lady and a young man, Stephanie Washington, I believe that's her name, and Paul, I don't remember his last name, but they was basically in a car coming down the street. Didn't look like they was bothering anybody at all, and two cop cars cut them off. One Yale cop car and one Hamden Police cop car. Hamden Police being out of their district, having no jurisdiction or no right to be in the New Haven Police Department's jurisdiction to commit any arrest or anything. They basically cut off the car, hopped out of their vehicles, and just started shooting the car. Stephanie was hit. At first there was reports that she was shot in the face, but she was actually hit in the stomach from what I'm reading now. And it was no weapons, no crime being committed when the police came up to him. To me it looked like they was just trying to take somebody out, and they happened to be the people coming down the street at the time. It's hard. This one hard for me because I feel so strongly about it. It's kind of hard for me to report, but I mean.
No, yeah. It was. The reporter said it was supposed to be an alleged robbery or something.
An attempted robbery on a newspaper delivery, man.
Right, and there was a car driving around or something like that, and
they said it was a red Civic. and they were in a red Honda. I'm not sure if they was in a Civic or an Accord, but even if so, like if you see the video, like they don't even attempt to make a stop to see if this is the people or anything. They immediately hop out of their vehicle, disarm their weapons, and just start shooting. They shot the car up a good 12 to 13 times. And
shit, I'm not sure if it was, I think it was the Yale cop. This dude even put his shit in park. His car
was still moving when he got out the car, yeah. Like, it just, yeah. And then, like, they dragged Stephanie out of the car, and they threw her on the ground. She's bleeding, obviously, from being shot. She's bleeding. They slamming Paul up against the vehicle, and he's asking them why are they doing all of this? They shot his girlfriend, and he's in complete shock because he just watched this girl get shot, like, and for no reason. Like, they're literally just driving down the street, and from both angles in which the footage came out, it just basically looked like it was a hit. Like, they just looked like the people that they wanted to target, or that they was looking for somebody to target that night, and it happened to get caught on camera. Like, that's the actual way it looks to me. Like, they just literally cut the car off. They didn't stop the car, pull it over, or anything. They just cut the car off, and they stopped because they couldn't go anywhere, and they just hopped out and started opening fire.
Yeah, it looked real immature-ish.
Yeah,
Like, it didn't look professional at all. And I think both police officers was former New Haven cops.
yeah.
So they both was former New Haven police officers or whatever. So it wasn't like they was unfamiliar with the neighborhood.
Right.
And I mean,
They used to patrol the same neighborhood.
so with that being said, yeah, New Haven can be violent sometimes, and people do tend to get a little bit out of control, and so cops is not abnormal to feel unsafe sometimes.
Right.
You know what I mean? But to for one, just to open fire before any words is exchanged
At all.
is beyond me. If you know for a fact that isn't, if you know for a fact that is a perp and it's a possible chance that they can be shooting back, then I can give. I mean that calls for them kind of that kind of situation, but.
I don't know, bro, because even if they knew that was the exact car that they were looking for, like
No, I'm not saying that was the car that was for the robbery. I'm talking about if they was pursuing someone that is armed and dangerous,
right,
like
right,
actually armed and dangerous. They say that they stretch the truth a lot of times on the news and shit.
Because they definitely wasn't pressing that about this incident.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But actually, armed and dangerous, and they know that these suspects is all right. Perfect example. I mean, because they both male and female. Bonnie and Clyde. Now, Bonnie and Clyde, they got their car shot up. It's kind of a similar situation, but the police there that did that, they knew that shit, Bonnie and Clyde was gonna bust,
right?
Because they had the chance,
and they also had several encounters, like
right, and they busting at the police, like
right.
niggas they didn't give a fuck, and they was
right.
laying shit down. So there wasn't no Bonnie and Clyde. It wasn't like they had to.
Right.
I mean, send shots that way. That's what I'm saying.
Right? Yeah. No, that's what. In that sense, I'm agreeing with you. Like the whole way, like I said, there's no way around that video, or no way around this whole scenario that you can't make that feel like it was damn near a hit. Like it's like they just was looking for somebody to fuck around and shoot or do something to, or unlawfully arrest. I mean, do some wild shit too, and it just so happened to get caught on camera. Like, and it's just the way they went about it. Like, it wasn't a proper stop. Like, they didn't stop. They didn't pull the car over. They ain't try to approach the car. Even if they would have pulled the car over and approached the car, you know what I mean, with their weapons drawn on some shit, like, just to investigate and see what it is to protect themselves. Like, everybody seeing the video, they're saying that, oh, the driver swung open his door abruptly, and then that's when he jumped out. But if you watch the video, the driver door never opens at all. Like, you don't see any action from the driver's side.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the cop literally gets out, runs to the passenger side, and just starts lighting the car up. And then he starts running because the yell cop comes from the front of it and is lighting up the front of the car. Like, they literally just shooting at each other. Like, and I mean, like, it's all the way wrong, yo. It's all the way wrong. And for it to be going down like that, and for it to be seen as, oh, because they heard it was a red Honda committing robberies, there was no weapons or nothing, or an attempted robbery of a paper boy. First of all, I mean, ain't nobody trying to rob no paper delivery person knowing that paper delivery people ain't got no fucking money on them. First of all. Second of all, like, if they were supposed to be the ones, why wasn't there no weapons in the car? Why wasn't there, like, there's just different precautions that could have been taken in this whole process to just get out and start shooting. Like, Stephanie ended up going to the hospital, and I mean, she made it from the wounds from being shot, but that don't mean that, oh, just because she made it, we gotta stop talking about it. Oh, just because she didn't die, oh, it should be less of an investigation. There's been protests going on ever since that day. Like, that same day, there's been protests. Like, no bullshit. Like, there's no foot coming off your neck. Like, the Yale campus, like, shout out to the Yale students for, I mean, actually coming into, like, being part of the protest for Stephanie, and not just being students that go there and saying they ain't got nothing to do with them. They actually shut down Broadway. They actually joined in the protest. Like, that helped get some of the national attention and get it, the whole situation put on Good Morning America. And I know it's a lot of people saying that they feel like Yale students is going harder than the actual community, but if it wasn't for the actual community spreading the word and making it a big of an uproar as it is, which it needs to be brought to that light, then Yale wouldn't even be doing anything. Like, it started with our community. So shout out to everybody in New Haven that's letting it be known, that's putting out the word, that's really supporting getting actual justice for Stephanie and for Paul. Because this shit is wrong, yo. It's wrong. Like, when is this type of shit gonna stop? Like,
no, facts. I'm against any police brutality, police murder, any police, just any of that. 'Cause I had to say that because what I'm about to say.
here you go.
So now, in this situation, it's always black, white, and blue.
Right.
Right. You see, usually the men in blue are white, doing injustice to the black. Now, in this case, both police officers are of African descent, right?
Right.
So, what I'm thinking, here, and I don't know if it's wrong for me to think, but, all these police out here just killing these men and women, and teens and kids and whatnot, right? And they're getting pat on the wrist and walked off and actually catching bodies.
Right.
I mean, Stephanie got hurt. I don't wish that on no one to get shot and anything like that. And thank God that both of them is alive.
It's alive, hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not taking anything away from the situation. But I just feel like these guys get reprimanded, and I would think the foot is gonna be heavy on their neck, and I'll be surprised if it isn't.
To me, I get what you coming at. Like, you feel me? Because they're two black officers
Right.
doing the same thing that we be barking at the white officers about doing.
Right now, right? Or
They
get
about,
off.
and the white officer get off, but they about to throw the book at both of these officers.
Yeah, and no one lost their life.
Right. Now, I do believe, I mean, they should see some type of something, like, you feel me? Jail time, be it jail time or be, they gotta face what they did. They gotta face the music for what they did. Like, you feel me?
I understand, but shit, they letting these niggas walk for killing people.
Yeah, but the same way I would argue.
Whatever they got, whatever fear they have for their lives, these cops gonna have the same thing.
I don't know, bro.
You shoot somebody in the back, bro, running, no
I'm
gun,
not saying,
and you get off.
I'm not saying the same defense can't be made. I'm just the same way I'm not letting the white cop get away with that in my book. I'm not letting them, especially because they used to patrol this neighborhood. You feel me?
I'm not saying let them get away with it. I don't want none of the cops to get away with it. I'm just saying, like, if it's the book is thrown so hard at these dudes.
But what I was about to get at, right, was the fact that they know that no matter if you got on that uniform or not, you black. You commit a crime, you get in the max of everything. You feel me? Especially this type of shit. Like, the fact that they know that and they still went out and did this shit thinking that they not gonna get caught is fucking.
Well, I don't think they went in there intentionally planning on shooting.
The way that shit came, the way that shit come off in that video.
They don't got no beef with Stephanie and her dude.
Bro, but like I said, it just looked like Stephanie and Paul were the people that were out at that time, and it was patrolling. What the fuck Hampton police got any business doing over here patrolling? Yale police, they be in the area.
It was on Dixon and Argyle. That's region enough for Hampton police.
Nah, it's over. It's in the New Haven side, bro.
Still, but the Hampton police still be.
Yeah, but without New Haven cops knew nothing about them being over here. Like
I'm saying they still be over here. It ain't like they don't be over here.
No, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that they don't be over here, but they are supposed to let New Haven cops know. They're supposed to, especially if it's a crime being committed and they're in pursuit of it or they're trying to look for the person, they're supposed to contact New Haven like, yo, this is going on. The suspect possibly went in your jurisdiction. Like,
it was the call. Did the call come from the New Haven jurisdiction or the Hampton jurisdiction?
That I don't know.
So
that I don't know. But even if the call came in, if they're not in pursuit of that person already, when you cross into the next jurisdiction, you're at least supposed to give the call in. Like, yo, this was going on. So New Haven cops could be on the scene also, and they'll know what's going on. Like, you feel me? But if you just saying that I got the call in, let me go patrol New Haven. Like, I mean, like that's foul. That's foul play, bro. Like, New Haven cops don't even know that the shit going on, and the suspect could be over here. Like, let us at least assist in the situation.
But the thing is, see, they on Dixon and Argyle. So, right, who's to say they was actually patrolling? And who's to say, I mean, the car didn't come from him then?
Who's to say? I'm not. I'm going off of what I'm seeing on this video. Bro.
I know. I saw the video. They closed in on it. Like they closed in on it.
If they was on a run from anything, bro, they were driving too casual to be that close to him. Then right by where they saying anything was gonna happen, like, or had happened or taken place or whatever. Like, until I see or until the press released the actual calls that was made, I don't believe that the calls was made. Like, I don't believe the call was made that there was anything going on over there. You feel me? Like, the way that shit looked, because if the call was made, and that's, like I said, the call was made and that was the car that you were looking for, it's certain protocol that you're supposed to do. It's a certain way that you handle that situation. You don't just jump out the fucking car and basically look like you're trying you out to make a hit.
I totally agree. Listen, but
who's to say that the cop actually didn't fear for his life? Now, whoever drew his weapon first and started firing, he probably saw a movement in the car and it looked like it was about to be over for him. So he had a fire.
You know,
I'm not justifying the officer. I'm just saying.
If
you know,
if you was an officer and you told me that, I would not be buying that, bro. I'm not buying that.
I'm just saying, whatever these white officers using.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying as far as
This is everybody fearing for their life.
That's the same way. If it was a white officer, I wouldn't buy it. I'm not buying it if just because it's a black officer. I'm not buying it either way. I'm not buying it.
I totally get it, but the only way I can. You know what I mean? Because we don't got Monica here.
No, I feel you. We don't got a third person to balance out, though. Like, I mean, we gotta kind of see it from both sides, but bro, wrong is wrong. You know how I do, man.
Listen, I'll do the same thing, but you also gotta take the people on the other side. You just gotta look over there.
You can put yourself in the officer's shoes. You can say, I'm scared for my life. So if you was that scared, that scared for your life,
what would you do?
First of all, if I'm that scared for my life and it's a call like that, first of all, I'm calling for backup. If it's not in my jurisdiction, I'm calling for whoever's in that jurisdiction, whatever jurisdiction I'm in. Second of all, if I can't get them, if they can't get there fast enough, I'm gonna pull over that car and wait for them to get there. Like, you feel me? If I got yelled following me, there's already 2 officers on it. I'm gonna follow protocol. For one, I got mouths to feed and I got a family to get back home to. And if I ain't got to kill nobody, I ain't killing nobody. You feel me? So if you asking me what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play that shit the way it's supposed to be played.
So
I'm not gonna just jump out the fucking car without no reason, just because I think they might. No, you seen nothing in the car, nothing.
How you know what he's seen, Dooley?
Bruh,
How you know what he's seen?
you can
That's
see
the
the
question.
video, bro. Even with the other cop cars,
I seen the
with
video. I
lights,
seen both videos.
bro. You don't see nothing in that car. You don't see nothing in that car.
You can't see that from the angle of the video.
Exactly. You can't see nothing in that
But
car, bro.
if I was driving past the car, I could see something in the car.
What would you see? For you to just straight start dumping.
So,
'Cause
this
he
is the
didn't-
thing. What if old boy was probably smoking or some shit? And like, oh shit, right, let me put this rocho. And that right there started the police thinking that, oh, he
Draw your
grabbed-
weapon. You don't have to discharge it. You don't have to let off nothing.
I totally agree.
You don't have to.
I
You
totally
asking
agree.
me, and me in that situation, I'm gonna pull my weapon.
Freeze, get down.
All that's coming. But I ain't gotta let go of nothing until I see an actual weapon pointed at me, or there's an actual threat for my life in a situation. Period. They train for that shit. They train for those and being being African American, being that you used to be in patrol of that area or on that police force that patrol that area, you should know what's coming. Like, you should know what to look out for or how to fuck around and engage
what if he already been in a shootout and he was known what to look for and something happened that night that
if he'd been in a shootout, he should have been put through some type of
he was though. He was. This is he was.
Yo, listen.
Yeah.
So if he was psychiatric evaluation,
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
that word. He should have been put in that. Like, yeah, I totally like. They should help him be able to cope with it, and if his PTSD is too strong, then they should give him a desk job or retire him, take your pension, go be a security guard somewhere where you don't need a weapon. Like, go do something like that. Like, there's really no ways to defend this shit. Do I believe that there's a possibility they're gonna make some bullshit? Because they got the state police investigating it now. Like, you feel me? They're sending their hands off. Hampton Police Department and Yale Police Department have nothing to do with the investigation. They're just gonna cooperate with the state police on whatever they need. But can you really trust the system to give an honest and transparent investigation on it?
But that's what I'm saying. To me, it's gonna get political.
It's already political because
it's right.
because of where it's at. The tension. First of all, the racial tension in New Haven and the surrounding cities.
We just had
is
East Haven shit.
Yeah, it's serious right now. The racial tension in our town right now is crazy. It's crazy. Like, it's already high. So it's already gonna be on some. It's right off the rip. It was as soon as it happened, everybody thought it was a white officer. Then it came out that it was a black officer. Then all of the shit that Hamden police.
Both black officers.
Yeah, both black officers. Then all of the shit that Hamden police have been doing to minorities in the Dixwell area, in the Ville. And I mean, all of that area, they've been harassing people for the longest, bro. Like, it's almost, you gotta play the back roads, or, I mean, you gotta do exact speed limit coming down Dixwell, unless if it's, I mean, clear all the way through. Like, to not be pulled over there is damn near impossible sometimes. Like, the racial tension in New Haven, Hamden, East Haven, West Haven, North Haven, all that shit is thick. So all of this shit happening right now, you already got the background of Hamden. Then it come out how Yale got, they had just had 2 incidents where it was a student that called the Yale police on another student because he was sleeping in the lobby of the study hall, and they came there, harassed him. He had to show ID, all of this to prove that he'd go there just because he was black. Then there was a lady who was going, it was another student going to her apartment, and they called the police on her, and they was asking her for ID. She had to prove that she lived there and all of that, like, because she was a black student going there. Like, so you got the Yale racial tension on the Yale campus. You got what the Hamden police department usually do to the minorities. So the police department, despite him, the officer being African American and Yale's officer being African American, period, the whole uniform of it is behind racial tension, all of the shit that's been going on, and the whole unlawful way in which they handled that situation.
No, I understand. Listen, you know, I'm totally against, you know what I mean, racism. You know what I mean? I'm not for it. I'm not going to try to justify any of that shit. I'm not going to just try to justify the police. I mean, not taking care of the situation properly. But the only thing I can say about this is, you know what I mean, to try to see the other light, because you know you got to look at it both, the coin on both sides. So you know what I mean, he actually was scared, and I'm not protecting him again, Cooley, but yeah, I mean, I just think my man just let that shit go a little bit too fast. He just thought it was,
Bruh, you gotta be, if you on that type of job, you gotta be a little bit less Mike Epps and a lot more Ice Cube, bruh. You can't be, I got action 24/7, bruh. This is life or death, bro. Life or death, all the way through. Like, this is, I got action, you gotta calm down, bro. Because you can either take a life or get your life taken if you misjudge, mismanage, or just underestimate the situation, period. So the fact that you know that you have a weapon on you, period, and you can discharge this and take somebody's life, or somebody could do the same on the opposite end. If you don't establish control or come at it in a controlled manner, then it's gonna get out of whack. For him to jump out of the car the way he did, bro, like it's hard as fuck to defend, bro. I understand it's, for some people they're gonna look like, yeah, but that's a black man, and I know they're gonna throw the book at him, and they should treat him the same way they treat the other white officers that do wild worse shit than that. And I hear you, but I don't feel you. The only reason I don't feel you is because he a black man in America. He know he's a black officer, and he know that the racial tension in the country, in the cities, the surrounding cities that we're actually in, is high. So to be trying to be an African American person in that position, you should be trying to change the narrative and, I mean, go about it a different way. Not saying that he gotta go up there, be super polite and all that. I'm just saying control it, manage it. I mean, show how it's supposed to be done in those tense situations. 9 times out of 10, the people, dudes that's out here thugging, they ain't out here thugging on some wild, wild west shit. It ain't like it was in the 90s, bro. That shit ain't like that. It's not many shootouts with the cops, if any, lately. Like, I mean, in these past 5-10 years, I haven't heard of any shootouts with the cops. Not around here. You feel me? So what, like, this not the Wild Wild West to even be on that type of energy, bro. It's not. Like, I just don't get it. I'm not cutting that no slack, bro. I'm not. And I know you're not saying to. I'm just saying for whoever out there saying to cut that slack. Nah, I can't see that, bro. I'm just being, I'm being honest. I'm being fair like I am with any other situation. Like, I'm not letting up. Wrong is wrong, bro. Wrong is wrong. That shit was wrong all the way. All the way. It just could have been handled a million different ways and nobody could have got hurt. Y'all could have found out that's not who you're looking for or that is who you're looking for, and they could have either got arrested in a justifiable manner, or they could have been let free and went about their day. And that could have just been a story they told that they got pulled over and y'all pulled over the wrong person. It could have went that simple. They could have kept their job, no press, like none of that. Like it's, I don't know. Maybe I'm being too logical, or I'm thinking. I mean,
listen, you know, in the heat of the situation, sometimes is
shit different.
It ain't no time to think, you know, and it just react. Now,
So
that was a little bit sloppy on. See, you can only blame the cop that shot first, because the cop that shot second, only thinking now the shot's being fired. He don't know where the shot's being fired from, because the first cop is shooting. Now he could think that the shot is coming from inside the car,
right,
and all that shit. So the cop that shot second, I really don't fault him as much as I fought the first cop. But the first cop, that's the one that I felt like was a little, it was a little scary. He's paranoid probably.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, like you said, if you're not prepared for the job, I mean, you shouldn't be out there. You get the training. I mean, if you've been in that situation, you should have the proper
psychological. That's what you was going for? Psychiatric. I got you. That's what I'm here for, bro.
Yo, I hate those fucking words. It's just always get me. But anyway, yeah, you should have proper help with your mind. And
don't worry, you should have got the help.
Yeah,
I'll get you.
And in order, you should be at the desk job if the streets is too much for you. I mean, but who knew? Now we know. Then they can just sit down behind the desk.
Yeah.
Both of them niggas.
Be a dispatch. Be live. Be live on the radio, telling them where to go.
Traffic duty for the rest.
Yeah,
I mean,
get over aggressive on the radio, telling them where they gotta be at. Like, I mean,
so yeah, so
do some shit like that, but don't, like that, and that's another reason why we say they gotta really evaluate the people and really look at the people, because be it a white officer or a black officer or a Latino officer, any officer that's coming to patrol these quote unquote high crime neighborhoods or any neighborhood, you should have an understanding, and you should be psychologically intact and prepared for it. Like, the fact that this is his second police department that he's working for in neighboring cities. So he worked here, which is New Haven, right? New Haven, Connecticut is supposed to be a high crime area, right? So you work here and you transfer, because anybody that works for New Haven and they transfer to any of the neighboring cities, they transfer because they want to worry less. Mm-hmm. So the fact that you transfer to Hamden because there's less crime out there, there's less chaos out there, there's more basic shit like traffic stops, you get called to a house or something like that. It's not, you ain't gotta patrol the blocks and look for all types of wild shit going on. You going out there basically to sell off into retirement.
Yeah, and then the Hamden cops that are getting action is the ones that's close to the New Haven borderline.
Right. I mean, they right on the New Haven, Hamden borderline. The same for West Haven cops, the same for Brantford, East Haven, North Haven. They know that. I mean, they still got, when they encounter shit, they still got to encounter it with the same precautions of anything could happen, but they know the likelihood in those areas of some wild shit actually happening the way it would in New Haven is slim. Like, you feel me? So for him to be transferring from New Haven to get away from, I mean, from New Haven to Hamden to get away from having to deal with such stress of the high crime area, for you to find yourself back in New Haven, and this is the type of shit that you find yourself in. Like, bro, come on. You couldn't just get a call like, you know you didn't want to deal with this shit anyway. You couldn't just get the call like, yo, it's in your jurisdiction, bro. I could come over there. I mean, you apprehend them, I'll take them away. Like, that type of shit. You ain't even have, like, that's what I'm saying. There's a million different ways he could have went about it that it could have ended a lot different, bro. Stephanie had to get shot. They ain't have to arrest Paul for just being there. Like, he literally got arrested, booked, and all that. Like, and it was nothing going on. Like, they was committing no crime. Like,
right, the people that really did commit the crimes, if any crime,
and then they say
completely got away.
Bruh, it's footage. They said it's footage. One of the residents that live on that block said it's footage of the officer, the first officer that hopped out, when all the rest of when New Haven cops finally got there, and more Yale cops and stuff got there, as he's walking back to the scene where they're arresting Stephanie and Paul, he's picking up shells. Like, they saying he's picking up shells from him shooting, and putting them in his pocket, like on some trying to hide this shit. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this shit, if that footage is really out there and it really get released, but that's crazy. Like, I mean, like, that further lets me know that he knew what he was doing was fucked up. Mm-hmm. It just so happened to be on camera, and it was going to, if it wasn't on camera, it was going to be a cover up, bro. Like, it's either one or two things you're going to do. You're either going to ditch the shells later on, or you're going to plant them shits in the car. There's only one or two things going to happen, yo. That's it. That's it. Like, that shit was, I really believe that shit was, who can we fuck with tonight and not get caught? And they just happened to get caught. That's what that shit looked like to me. Like, I can't get past that feeling. And if, like, for all the neighboring cities and, I mean, all of this racial tension and shit, if you were in my generation, I mean, and you taking part in being, like, holding people back and being super racial and all that shit, man, grow up, man. Like, grow up, yo. If you really out here, when anybody from my city come around, or anybody that's African American come around, you turning up your nose, or you clenching your purse and doing all that old school bullshit, you ain't got to do that no more. Like, it's not that time. Like, we ain't on that type of, we trying to bring our people in our community up. Like, we ain't on that bullshit. All this, I don't know, I'm sick of all of this racial shit, like, for no reason. Like, I was just in a grocery store, and me and my family the only minorities in the whole store, and we getting wild looks. Like, I mean, wild looks. For what? Like, this shit is not the 60s. This is not the 50s and 40s. And granted, you might feel that type of way or have whatever your beliefs is, but educate yourself on who you really thinking that you hating or you really trying to oppress. Like, it ain't that serious. Like, that shit is sickening, man. That shit is crazy. And I know my little statement probably ain't gonna mean shit, but whatever.
Not to them.
Yeah, I know it's not, but I mean, that shit is irritating as fuck, man. Cause we already got to deal with so much. Like, for us to feel like we came so far and gaining some ground and starting, like, our generation, like, I mean, 80s babies are starting to wake up and break the chain, and we starting to motivate and do shit. Like, I mean, and get it back to where it was supposed to be, and picking up where, I mean, it was left off, and we actually gaining ground on it, or feeling like we at least gaining ground on it, and we still got to deal with a little petty shit. Like, I mean, we still getting the dirty looks. They still locking the cars when you walk by it. They still doing all this shit. Like, get the fuck out of your own head. Like, if anybody from where I'm from wanted to hurt you, or any neighborhood, any hood or quote unquote ghetto that you go to really wanted to hurt you, they wouldn't give you no sign. They'll just fucking hurt you. We ain't out here for that shit. We ain't on that type of time right now. Like, get the fuck out of here. That shit just pissed me off. Like, I just feel like grown-ups really need to start being fucking grown. Like, be grown up about your shit. Own your shit. Like, you know you contributed to the bullshit. Stop contributing to the bullshit, man. The fuck out of here, yo. That shit, it irked the fuck out of me. Cause me personally, I don't treat nobody like that. I don't care what race, creed, color, anything. I don't come out here judging nobody. I ain't disrespecting nobody. So for me, knowing the energy I carry around, to see that energy, that negative shit, I mean, sent my way, and then people don't even know me or my family. Like, looking at my daughter's crazy, looking at my lady crazy, looking at me crazy. Get the fuck out of here. Like, you don't even know nothing. Like, you don't. You just looking at us like get the fuck. I'm bothered. Yes, I'm bothered. Fuck it. That's my rant. I'm bothered. That shit.
Shit. That shit happened all your life. You should be used to it.
Yeah, I know. But still, man. That shit. I just think it's time, like.
Maybe they was looking at your family like that. Maybe they was looking at you. Maybe if your family was in there by themselves, they got them wild looks.
Well, I don't know, cause when my kids' grandmother take them out to Walmart and they all shopping and shit, and
But do your kid's mother?
do they look at her like that? Yeah. They legit think she's the babysitter, not the grandma.
No, I'm talking about your kid's mother.
What you mean? Like, do they look at her?
Not
like
your kid's
that?
grandmother. Do your kid's mother?
Oh yeah, her too. She get the looks too. She definitely do. Definitely get the looks. Like, that shit crazy, yo. It's nerve wracking, man. Cause part of me we want to spaz the fuck out, but I mean the other part is just like, yo, this is their ignorance, and don't feed into it. Cause then when you feed into it, you get in what they want. You become the stereotype they think you is. Like, so I'll just carry on the way I carry on. But I mean, the shit, it hurt me. Like, niggas, we grown as fuck. Fuck out
Shit
of here.
like that, you gotta kill kindness.
Yeah, but and that's the way I try to take to it. But anyway, yeah, man, justice for Stephanie, man. Definitely, it's not about me this episode. It's about Stephanie. It's about Paul. It's about the right thing being done, no matter the race of the officers, no matter. I mean, none of that bullshit is blatant. It's right there.
So I got a question, Cooley. You know, I mean, this probably gonna fuel the fire. Hopefully not.
I've been drinking. Nah, go ahead.
So, seeing that in our country, nationwide, we've been seeing this kind of same pattern, you know, from the police and shooting, just shooting black people, period. You know what I mean? Did you think, or if you did think, how long did you think before it hit our town did we actually see? Did you foresee Stephanie and Paul happening?
So I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 with you. I never thought this should have happened here, to be honest. Like, I've been beaten in the head with flashlights by cops. I've experienced it. I've seen it. Nah, dead ass. I'm dead serious.
Bro, you told me. I know.
Listen, right? So I've experienced some shit. Like, you feel me? Been slammed up against cars. Cussed out, all types of wild shit. Like I said, beaten in the head with a flashlight, all types of shit. By, cops here in New Haven. But I never thought that it would come to somebody unlawfully being shot like that. Like, you feel me? I didn't think it would go like that. Like, I done seen some wild shit happen in New Haven where it could have went like that and police didn't do, that type of shit at all. Like, you feel me? Like, I didn't ever think that this shit would hit New Haven the way it did, bro. I never thought. Never. I done been pulled out the car, called a nigger, like all types of wild shit. All types of wild shit by cops. But I ain't never think it was gonna go to that. Like, never. If that answers your question, is no. You?
Shit. Monkey see, monkey do.
Only a matter of time.
That's it. You know, shit, I just felt like the narrative of their story is safety, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the important thing that they screaming. Safety and fear for their lives and everything of that nature. So that's why everybody's using the same story and using the same thing to get out or whatever. And it's sad because who's to say if they isn't scared? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
So
I know, cause
but no one deserved to lose their life.
right,
Deserved to lose their life if they wasn't threatening no one.
right.
So
Right.
you know what I mean. That right there is beyond me. So for it to happen here, you know, is real close to home, and I think that's why you feel so passionate about it, because you know we got kids out here. You know what I mean, we got family out here, and that could have been any one of them. You know what I mean, any given time, any given moment. So I totally understand. You know what I mean, your passion behind this. I don't know if we mentioned this on the last podcast, but it ties in to this one as well. You know, with the whole police trying to ban.
Oh no, we didn't talk about it.
So we didn't mention that.
Yeah, cause no, we didn't. But that, I'm glad you brought it up, bro. So you shared the article on Facebook.
I had it, but
Oh, my bad. Nah. That shit.
yeah, I know.
Bro, that shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, no.
Nah, I want to be. First of all, get the fuck out of here for 2 reasons. First of all, LAPD, I mean, gonna go out there and they made they had a press conference or whatever, and they're asking citizens to stop videotaping or stop videotaping or recording officers making arrests and shooting black people on camera. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's making them look bad.
In Chicago, they actually
it's a felony. Yeah, now it's a felony.
Mm-hmm.
If you record an officer without his consent, it's a felony in Illinois. It's a felony.
Mm-hmm.
Like I hope whoever listening, whoever paying attention is actually listening and paying attention. Look at what the fuck they're actually doing. They're asking you to get killed and don't say nothing about it.
Mm-hmm. And if you record us killing you, you going to jail.
Right. Or anybody with you that records us killing you, you're going to jail for it. And we ain't talking no little time either. Like they're literally trying to invoke fear in you for protecting yourself, for videotaping what the fuck is going on with you. If you don't feel safe, you just can't feel safe. Oh well, deal with it. We'll do to you what we want, and we'll control the narrative that we put out to the press. That's crazy. Like, where the fuck, who the fuck, why the fuck
would that even be
a thought? Like,
so doesn't that go against a constitutional right?
Don't get me lying. I don't know.
Freedom of press, right?
There is a freedom of press. There is a freedom of press.
That's a form of it,
right.
I believe. But I don't think it's interfering with the police, business if you're not engaging in
any
the situation.
Yeah, if you're not actually stopping them from doing what they have to do as far as apprehending the suspect, I don't see what the issue is. Like my thing is, if you want us to stop filming you killing our people,
stop killing our people.
Yeah, point blank period. Say it again.
That's it. Stop killing our people.
Thank you.
If you want us, nigga.
Why we gotta stop you? Stop.
I think that's what I shared.
That's exactly what you said.
Yeah,
if you want us to stop recording you killing us, but you want to continue to kill us. You're not saying nowhere in your press conference that you're gonna stop killing us. You're just saying, oh, we're gonna continue it. You just gotta stop recording it. Really?
But that's how he acts too. Like, I mean, but do you know the reason that the chief of the police in LA did that whole fucking press conference was because they just shot and I believe they killed a homeless man.
Yeah.
Unarmed homeless man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
6 officers. 6 6 officers trying to apprehend him, or I mean, there was on Skid Row. There was supposed to be a robbery that took place over there. He was supposed to be the person. So when they went to apprehend him, it took first of all 6 officers to not even arrest him. He was struggling. They say he was struggling for them to arrest him, and because they couldn't get him to get the cuffs on, they just figured shooting him in the head was a better solution. But it got caught on camera and it made them look bad, so now they're upset and they want to make it a question of, can you just stop recording us? How about you just stop fucking killing our people? How about that? How about that? That is not a logical thought in your mind. Like, where the fuck do you get off? Because if the shoe was on the other foot in any of this situation, if it was civilians doing this to them, it would be all fucking hell breaking loose. But because they're supposed to be servants of the law, we're supposed to just say, oh, they can do whatever they want. Yes, kill me, sir, because you have on a badge, you have on a uniform, and you're protecting the law. And if you see it, if you deem it responsible or plausible, whatever the fuck that word is, if you deem it to be done, it should be done. If you deem me just being black a crime and you want to kill me, you can do it, sir. No.
What we need is some shit like the Black Panther back. Some police to police. We need people out there in the midst of the streets and shit. I mean, watching what's going on. Anytime the police is called, so is the Black Panther Party, and they come and nigga, any misharm done, yeah.
That shit is crazy, man.
I think that's what should happen.
But like, just it's so aggravating because all of these past couple of years, these past 10 years now, past 10 years, all over social media, we've been seeing all of this shit done to our people. All of these instances brought up in court, and we seeing officers walk left and fucking right, left and fucking right, left. Once in a while, they'll sprinkle in a conviction, but left and fucking right, majority of them are walking the fuck off. You literally got a man running away with his back turned. Now, when you get your pistol permit and you get your license to carry, they tell you if that person's back is to you, you cannot kill him. Like, you cannot shoot him at all because it's automatic. You're getting your license taken and you're gonna do time. Like, point blank, period. Like, that person was in a defenseless.
That's murder.
Yeah, they was defenseless. So you got a man running away and you shoot him in the back. You got a man just standing outside selling Lucy's, so y'all say, and you choke him to death.
Selling CDs.
Well, selling CDs. I mean, you got a young man coming home from a store and stalked down not by an officer, but just by somebody who wanted to be an officer, who was a fucking quack and wanted to just be out there patrolling the neighborhood because he deemed it right. No, like, none of this shit is right. Like, none of this shit is right, because we can't go into none of these other neighborhoods and do this type of shit. That shit is not right, bro.
What do you think about the officer that got 5 years for slapping the, I think the dude he was drunk or on drugs. He was in the hospital or something, and the police officer got 5 years for that, and I mean, because he was in custody and the dude was just, I don't know.
And the officer that was with him, I don't know if it was his partner or just another officer on the scene, was the one laughing and recording it. Like, not trying to stop him, not trying to nothing. Like, and if the person was intoxicated and they just babbling, like, you can't take somebody just talking shit. They got a freedom of speech. Like, I mean, they're not touching you, they're not harming you. You can't, as an officer of the law, you just can't take that one. Like, I know everybody got their limits, but the man is, intoxicated or whatever the case was at the point, but he's in the hospital, cuffed to a bed, like, in custody, and you just gotta deem yourself the person to have to slap that person in the mouth. Like, come on, man.
So, one thing is about that. how do you think he deserved 5 years?
Yep.
So how is it that this officer could get 5 years? This is what I don't see. Like I don't see the judicial
System.
I'm trying to get it right. Judicial system. Now I'm saying I don't find it to be fair, yo, because we just named multiple situations where they just kill unarmed black men and women, and here you go getting 5 years for a slap. Now these officers is not getting that ounce of time, and the dude that they slapped just happened to be Caucasian.
Yeah.
So like,
Look,
where's the line in the sand? Where's that shit drew at?
It's not in our favor at all, bro. It's not in our favor at all. Like Sandra Bland, it's like we can go on for the past 10 years. We can go on and on. In the last 10 years alone, the amount of, unarmed black people killed, the amount of abuse, like all types of wild shit that's been going on. And yeah, okay, so what? It's all over social media because there's camera phones. So what?
But that right there says a lot, because now can you imagine how long this been going on before the camera phones got involved?
Right, yo.
So
right.
This is saying, this is just proving
what we've been saying all of these years.
That's it.
That's it. And because you gotta face it now. Because you're getting a little bit of pressure from the media and the public that you gotta actually fess up and talk about these issues, and you gotta do something about it or be held accountable.
You think the police just now starting this shit?
Right, like the fuck out of here, man. Mike Brown. Oh, man, listen, we can go on and on and on. And it's not just to make the case, because like I said, if this was, if they weren't black in this situation and it happened, it's wrong. Wrong is wrong. Like, you just hop out your car and just start shooting on a car. You didn't pull the car over. You didn't assess the situation. You didn't attempt to call New Haven Police Department and tell them what was going on. None of that. Like, you just took it upon yourself to be the Wild Wild West, the fucking cowboy from Hamden Police Department. Jump out the fucking car and handle shit yourself on some wild shit. On some wild shit. Like, this shit is crazy, man. This shit is, like, we really gotta, I hope this shit is helping us really look at what the fuck is going on to our people. Like, there's, if not now, more than ever, it's always, these past 10 years is really more than ever to me felt like there's a real attack on our people. Like, there's a literal attack. Like, we watched, what was that, Notre Dame go up in flames. Celebrities put $600 million up in no time for that to be rebuilt and for that to get fixed back up. Flint been out of water in a water crisis for how long?
Mm-hmm.
How long?
Mm-hmm.
How long? And they ain't even give them $100 million. They waited for Jaden Smith to say, "I'ma fund it. We're gonna get it right." To then throw $74 million at getting the water system right. How many years? How many lives was lost in Flint?
Mm-hmm.
But something happens overseas in a country that's not ours, and we throw $600 million in no time at it. In no time. In no time.
Mm-hmm.
That shit speaks volumes. Like, I'm not the most woke person in the world by far, but I can pay attention and I see what the fuck is going on. Like, the shit is not right, man. The shit is not right, point blank period. Like, whatever y'all see us as, or whatever y'all looking at us to be, y'all gotta really take a step back and see, are we still them people in your eyes? Like, those stereotypes that you've been passed down through your generations, or you've been taught through your generations, are we actually them people? How many people of our community do you actually know? Do you actually, and not that live in your neighborhood either, how many people do you actually know from the inner city that gotta go through whatever they gotta go through, or that is of the area that you have such a stereotype about? Like, ask yourself that before you deem me and AK just only talking about what black people go through, only talking about the struggles of black men and black women in America or in our neighborhoods or in our city or whatever. Actually ask yourself, how many people from the inner city, your inner city, wherever you at in the world, wherever you at in this country, how many people do you actually know, associate with, or actually give a fuck about in your inner city?
So, you know, for anyone to kind of judge us, and I'm talking in general, not me and you. For anyone to judge us and have been passed down any bad stereotypes and information about, you know, our race, and haven't had a chance to actually do their homework themselves and actually see what the world is about, or see what the opposite race is about, is for one their loss. So if you're listening to this and you think you may have something to say about the opposite race, and because no one person or one people are the same. Like, I mean, any shape, color, size, no one's the same. You know what I mean? And to stereotype a race, any race, you know what I mean, is racist. You see a majority of a race doing one thing, and then a lot of the stereotypes that we have for our race is just that, stereotypes. It's just something that was forced upon us, not even because we like the watermelon thing.
Mm-hmm.
Watermelon isn't because black people like watermelons. Like, I mean, it was an advertisement or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. With the watermelon, and that's how that came into play. And
Let's go back to the blackface thing.
Right. Like, I mean, and all that. So, for you to be racist this day and age, is obviously had to be taught or installed, because we are too deeply integrated to hate one race. And I can see if this was back in, I mean, per se, the 50s, 60s and shit was, I mean, still
so segregated. Yeah, for you to have a friend of the opposite race is rare.
Right. You don't see that, to oppose to now this day and age where you actually go to work and you're bound to work with the opposite race. You know what I mean?
My bad for cutting you off, AK, but that goes for our people too. Like, I mean, a lot of the things that, like, first and foremost, let me say this. There's a lot of Caucasian people, a lot of Latino people, Asian people. I know a lot of people. I interact with a lot of people. A lot of people are very supportive of me and very supportive of AK. And we don't discriminate. I mean, if you're a good person and you kind-hearted and and you really fucking with us and you ain't out here trying to cause our demise, we fuck with you. We don't sit up here and stand in the corner and not fuck with anybody because of their race. We don't do that. We give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Like, we trust everybody the way they show that they can be trusted. Like, you feel me? That's it. Like, what we gauge from you is that's how we act towards you. But if you give us reason to not fuck with you, we don't fuck with you. It ain't about race over here. It's about the vibe you give off, and it's about how you actually act towards us and those who be around us. Like, that's more so of how I know me personally, and from what AK being my brother and being around him for all of these years, that's how I know that we interact with people. We don't just cut people off because of their race or anything like that. We're open to interacting with any race. Like, it don't matter. That is not the point of what we're talking about. What we're saying is you have to educate yourself enough to decide if you're going to hate or not hate somebody. To not know and to hate a certain race of people or a certain kind of people is more ignorant than anything. Because you're not even taking the time to educate yourself on the facts of those people or that person. Period. Like, it's pure ignorance. Like,
yeah. And so that brings to mind a little story I saw when this dude, he was in the Ku Klux Klan, and I am not sure how he met his wife, but his wife is black, and I think he got hurt and wife took care of him, was taking care of him. It was something to where he had to see her, and I mean, every day, or something like that. He ended up falling in love with her. And I don't know if he still hate black people, but he loved his wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just weird, like how he was explaining it. Like, I mean, he kind of felt like he cheated himself from life. Like, had he allowed himself to experience life, whether rather than let hate consume his life,
right.
He possibly could have found his soulmate a lot faster, or he could have just had a more happier and fulfilling life. Like, I mean, where the place that he was in his life, it was bringing him his true happiness.
Right.
And had he not been able to get over the fact of not hating a person because of the color of his skin, he probably would have never loved the way he loved. Right. So it's just shit like that. And I mean, that goes to show you how short you selling yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are literally taking away from yourself by cutting yourself off with the world and only mingling with a certain race or group of people.
Right.
I mean, that are like you.
Right.
Or, I mean, so the beauty of this world to me is the difference.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how everything is different and everyone is different. That's the beauty of this world. Like, you to look at the same thing, or not necessarily the same race, but this. Let's just imagine that everybody look alike. You would get tired of that same face, your own face.
Yeah.
You go outside and god damn, we got AK face. I'm gonna say AK face because everybody don't look like me. No, but I mean, let's get back on the serious note. I mean, justice for Stephanie and shit, and Paul. I don't want to make that a racial thing.
It's not about race, but I just know that. I mean, in the beginning of it was the racial tension was there because of, again, this happened in our neck of the woods. Like, this happened in New Haven. Like, you feel me? And a lot of people that listen to this don't know about New Haven. Like, probably can't even spot New Haven or Connecticut on the map and point it out. Like, but
know where y'all at.
right. But I mean, the fact that we haven't really spoken on it, and with this taking place, I mean, it kind of just brought up the conversation about race. But I mean, and the injustice, like I mean, and the unjustifiable way in which the cops dealt with this situation.
It's usually
And-
racially
And it's
motivated.
it's usually racially motivated. And then to be dealing as a civilian, as an African American civilian, and have to deal with that not only from police of opposite races, but
The community.
the community, your own race as officers, police, period. Like you just gotta deal with that shit. Like that shit is tough to deal with. Like so, like that's why it kind of carried into that, because it's a conversation that need to be had. Like we really gotta take a look in the mirror. Like Michael Jackson said, you gotta take a look in the mirror. Like you start with the man in the mirror. Really take a look at yourself and ask yourself, are you contributing to the negativity or the positivity in the world? Period. Like I mean, that I don't know.
That's it. I mean, in order for the world to change, you gotta start with yourself. If you change your own actions, then the world, I mean, not the world will follow, but everyone just change their actions. It will be a better place.
The energy is just it
manifests. And
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
But listen, I need y'all to take away from this episode. I mean, right is right, wrong is wrong. I mean, we need justice for Stephanie. Again, we need justice for Stephanie. We need justice for Paul. We need the right thing to be done in this situation. We need to come together, educate each other, on each other, and stop with the bullshit, man. We got to change this narrative, man. Point blank, period, man. Get out of here with that negativity. Let's reverse that negativity into positive energy, and let's move up. Let's stop moving backwards, man. Let's move forward in the right direction. Again, justice for Paul, justice for Stephanie. Do the right thing with that investigation, man. I am Coolie Mane. You can find me everywhere under the name of Coolie Mane. If you can't find me there, you can find me anywhere under Grown Ups Talk.
Definitely. You already know this your boy AK the Chief, signing off, checking out. You know the motto, like, share, and follow. If you didn't do it, do it. Tell a friend and do that shit again. Cool, you be like, yo, you gonna fuck this shit up. Nah. You know the motto.
Yeah.
Like, share, and follow.
Yeah.
Tell a friend.
See, you fucked it up.
I did it on purpose.
Hey, yo, listen. And before we really get up out of here, though, we gotta say this, man. The same thing with Nipsey's episode. We know that this situation made national news. We know that this is like the popping thing to talk about right now, but that is not why we decided to talk about this. We could have just been quiet and watch it all unfold, but there was an element that...
Fuck why we talking about it, Coolie. We talking about it because it needed to be talked about.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I was getting to.
That's it. Niggas don't need
Nah, I'm
no
just saying,
justification.
like, because I don't want them. I
Grown
don't
ups
want,
talk, bitch.
I don't want Stephanie or Paul to hear this and think we only talking about this shit because it's the thing. Like, you feel me? I want them to understand that we're coming from
them down. I hope they don't feel no type of way. This is tribute
that's
to
what I was getting into. It wasn't for the gym pop. It was for them. Like, I mean, for Paul, for Stephanie.
Just like everybody walking for, we
Right, we
talking
put
for
it
y'all.
out. We put it out to the world just the same way Good Morning America did. I mean, we
You
just
gotta
a smaller
walk and
platform.
talk. They
You feel
walk
me?
and we talk.
Yeah.
This is Grown Ups Talk.
Man, like, share, and follow, man. Y'all know the motto. Holla at us.